Elon Musk walking back his criticisms about the president on social media. Overnight on X, he posted, quote, "I regret some of my posts about President Trump last week. They went too far. As you may recall, their differences over the tax and spending cuts bill extended into some back and forth responses on social media about other issues." Meanwhile, Jim, Tesla's going to go for 4 days higher today. It's up 17% since Friday.
We got a lot of downgrades, and it visibly stuck. It didn't go down, and then it went up 10%. I'll give you a good example. Guggenheim has a sell on it today. If I crossed out the word sell and I read it, I would be buying. I mean, it's that positive. It's about robotaxi, and it's about the total addressable market. And initially, Tesla won't do that well. But I've got to tell you, I would never sell Tesla in this. And then Piper Sandler with just a few bullet points about why it's going to be fantastic. Driverless Teslas have been spotted in Austin. Of course, he's walked back when it's going to be. But I continue to believe that you've got to own the stock.
Yeah, Piper's point is that actually higher car prices will drive the market for robo-taxis.
I got a kick out of reading it, but the fact is, David, stock's bottom, and now you're talking about, take a look.
This was just last week after the posts, you were saying, I don't think you can own it.
270. It's at 3. I caught 60 points.
It's okay. All right.
What do you want from me?
I want answers is what I want. I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth. There you go. You got it.
Yeah, you can't. Now, I will tell you, David, in a spirit,
I just want you to explain.
All right?
Because I take the incoming for you.
The spirit of goodness.
Yes.
The notion of what he's saying about Jensen and their partnership on autonomous, wow. Because there are a lot of people who feel that their autonomous does not have what Waymo has, which is the miles run. Well,
they don't, and they have a different approach. And I discussed that with Musk, obviously, a few weeks ago when we sat down in terms of the approach.
Can we play it? Because it's seminal.
I don't know with that sound, but yeah,
it's seminal,
we do have Elon obviously talking about the rollout in Austin, which is going to begin June 22nd, and obviously on a very modest basis, but moving up from there pretty quickly. Take a listen.
We have cars driving 24/7 with drivers in the cars, and we see essentially no interventions. So we want to be very careful with the first introduction of unsupervised full self-driving, meaning that the car's driving around with no one in it.
Right.
So we're going
to no one behind a driver's.
Well, yes, and sometimes no one in it at all.
Right.
If it's going to pick someone up. So the car also has to be incredibly safe.
That's where they are. Obviously, he said 10 to 12 at first, and there's some video, and then they'll quickly ramp it up.
Right.
From there to as many as well over 1,000 in a short amount of time.
Jensen's comments here. The work that Elon, is doing with Grok, his self-driving car, his Optimus, these are every single one of them world-class, every single one of them revolutionary, every single one of them are going to be gigantic opportunities, and we're delighted. I'm delighted to be working with him. Boom, I rest my case. That's what the story is. This is a partnership that has made it so that I think that he's leapfrogged.
Well, it's powering the neural network that is powering the cars. Is NVIDIA,
I think it's the future because that's what I think.
And he said, it's like, I can't get away from NVIDIA chips now. By the way, he was also talking about XAI there, where he was talking about.
Yes, but it was amazing during that conference call a couple of years ago, where he said, Jensen's, he's extracting his monopolist, but you can't help it. You got to use it. And this sounds like a very good partnership. Maybe there's like an era of peace that Musk is trying to be.
Meanwhile, NVIDIA's only, not that far off from an all-time high?
$10.
Now you're talking.
So you think last week one of the game theories of how the president could ice Elon would be to have a federal policy that favors Waymo's technology over Musk? You do not think that's possible?
Well, I think that David has talked about a particular felon from New York who's not alive anymore, and that may be a bridge too far when you tweet about it.
Oh, yes, the Epstein thing was, once you go Epstein, it's hard to come back,
that is. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the holy grail bad.
Yeah.
But I do think that, you've got, I want to own Tesla.
All right, and again, just to make it clear, at the time after the tweet storm from him, and I said to you, you said don't own it. Well, now you say own it because, why?
Okay, because when I saw that it didn't go down on this vicious series of sells, when I saw that we're that close to Austin, and I think Austin's going to go very well because a lot of the problems are autonomous. People feel he doesn't have it. And I think that right in your face, I think the humanoid's going to be gigantic. It's at 2030. You said it. I said it. But it's going to be ahead of that. I'm going to rent a humanoid in the next 2 years. I'm going to have you come over to the house.
You're not going to have a humanoid to rent in the next 2 years. I don't think it's going to be available.
The X1.
You can also get a 22-year-old, young worker to come over and help clean up after the party.
They're not going to be around.
Who makes
They're going to be deported.
Who makes it? I got to find out who makes those. I think it's X1 out.
But listen, Sam Altman, the first million humanoid robots are going to make the old-fashioned way, but then they can operate the entire supply chain.
The humanoids. The reason why we think about that is there used to be little robots, and Jensen said our whole universe is made for people who are 5'7" to 6'2", and we have to have robots that's hot size, so everything's normal. I am telling you, it's not a 2030, it's 2028, and I think you ought to put in for one.
Wow, that's not long from now.